All right, everybody. Yeah. It's Monday. Now, on my job, we call it Hot Monday. Why? Because that means it's payday. So it's time to get paid around here. And nobody gets paid around here like Three Kings Boxing. Well, hold on, wait a minute. Let me change that. Nobody gets paid around here like the HNIC, who's always on the line to help me out. What's going on, family?
I don't even know what to say about that, man. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good.
No, I'm just saying, man. Shout out to my man for taking time out. I meant to do this yesterday, we didn't. But shout out to my man for taking time out on his daughter's birthday, barbecuing on the grill. You know what I'm saying? Like my man had the barbecue on the grill, run back in the house, get the sauce. They was fucking up the meat and the sauce and the mix. And it was his daughter's birthday. So shout out to my man for taking time out on his daughter's birthday to do a quick little 45-minute video with us, man. Much appreciated as always.
Word up, no problem, man. They wasn't fucking up the meat. I ain't gonna allow them to do that. I ain't gonna allow them to fuck up the meat, bro. Nobody's allowed near the grill but me.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And it's all we got another hot show for y'all. Oh, wait a minute, we got somebody. Oh yeah, damn. We got one of our Three Kings Boxing, Three Kings Boxing senior journalist and pound for pound boxing report veteran, Mr. Michael Wilson Jr. What's going on, Mike?
So I guess Mr. Irrelevant Negro is here. What's going on, fellas? What's going on?
That's fucked up, man. Nobody likes Mike, man.
Nobody likes Mike. Hey, I just seen The Last Dance. Anybody named Mike gonna get it from me, goddammit. No. If you don't know, go to threekingsboxing.com. Mike had an excellent interview with the one Hall of Fame
Al Bernstein.
Yeah, Al Bernstein. So definitely check that out, man. Always doing good work. Mike knows those little guys. God damn, he be dropping them articles on them little guys.
I try, man. I try.
Oh yeah, you know. I mean, you can't keep up with the old master, but you do.
I don't know, man. Might be naming motherfuckers from like the 1970s that fought at 112. I don't know, bro. Like that nigga knows the little guys. Like it's him and my man Malachi Ben Yosef that's usually in the chat. Them two cats right there, they know they fucking little guys, man. Real talk.
No, real talk. They do. Mike knows. Not only do we know the little, I think what was that the other day? We can remember the dude name that Ray Boom Boom Mancini fought. Mike was like,
we couldn't remember his name. I said, Mike know it. Mike's like, yeah, it's, what was his name? Dooku Kim.
Yeah, Dooku Kim.
Exactly.
So definitely shout out to him, man. All right, man, we got a stacked show. As always, want to thank you guys for joining us. My man, Sporting Advantage said, what's up, Bo and 2K? What's going on, man?
What's good, family?
We got Brian David. He said, I'm in here. What's up, fam? And the chat.
My man, what's good?
Boxing's father said, glad to see real boxing still exists.
Appreciate you, big dog.
The Texan, he said he's in the building.
Hey, man, the guy that never makes no mistakes, don't never say nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? The Texan, Mr. Perfect. That's his name. Look, Bo, quiet. Look, you just mad because hold on. You just fucking mad because there's nobody in the chat that says the Illinoisan or whatever the fuck you call y'all niggas up there. They don't exist. Nobody care about niggas from Illinois.
Hey, the last perfect motherfucker, we know what they did to him. I'm just saying. So
Adrian Granados.
Oh, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. Donnell Kirkland said, my niggas, what's going on, family?
What's good, fam?
What up, though?
All right, man. So let's go ahead on and jump right on into this. And as always, go to threekingboxing.com for the latest and greatest what's going on in the sport of boxing. Hey, man. Hey, you know what? Once upon a time, you know, I think Manny done found his swag back. Because, you know, Manny was that nigga knocking niggas out on fire. You know, then, of course, he got caught cheating on his wife and, you know, and all that shit. So, you know, like niggas do, he found God, lost his hunger, lost his thirst. Now, I guess he back to doing his thing because, man, he out here dropping G shit. He's Manny Pacquiao out here like, listen, man, Floyd is just envious because he's already retired. We're still active, not retired yet. No problem. I'm still training. So Manny Pacquiao, basically, he's saying, listen, you got, all these fighters calling out Floyd. You pretty much got Floyd, still trying to talk, still, getting involved in shit. Manny like, listen, dog, he's an old man. He's telling these young fighters, stop trying to fight that old man. He's just jealous. He's just envious. We're still here. We're still training. We're still fighting. Now, I've often said that the one thing that I've always that the thing about Floyd Mayweather that has always bothered me is he doesn't seem to allow, even during his time, he doesn't let other motherfuckers get their shine on. Let these other motherfuckers shine. You had your time. You made your money. You out. Manny Pacquiao still fighting. Now, I actually believe that part of that Envious is, and we touched upon this, if Manny Pacquiao fights a Earl Spencer, Terrence Crawford, and he beats them and become unified, his legacy, I will be putting him ahead of Floyd. I'm going to put him ahead of him because he did something Floyd did not do. We talked about this yesterday, man. Mike, you the guest, man. What do you think about what Manny Pacquiao said about Floyd?
It's interesting because I'm gonna ask a question based off of what you just said, Bo. Mm-hmm. You would still put, assuming the scenario happens, you would still put him above Floyd, even though Floyd beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and let me get in on that because I'm pretty much the originator of that thought process. It don't matter if you beat somebody or not, right? Sandy Sadler beat Willie Pep 3 times, but Willie Pep is still ahead of Sandy Sadler. You see what I'm saying? So that notion that a fighter beats somebody, that shit doesn't fucking matter. At the end of the day, when you look at, okay, who's the best in a given era, or basically, on an all-time pound for pound list, you look at that fighter's record and accolades as a collective. Doesn't matter if he lost to somebody, right? Like Julio Cesar Chavez lost to Frankie Randall, but he's going to be above Frankie Randall, right? Arturo Gatti lost to Ivan Robinson, but he's in the Hall of Fame. Ivan Robinson is not. You see what I'm saying? So losing to a guy doesn't matter. It's what you did as a collective in your career that says whether or not you're above the guys that you lost to or you're not.
And the reason I asked that, because you're going to have the debate, the back and forth between Pacquiao fanboys and Floyd fanboys.
Mm-hmm.
Pacquiao fanboys will say, look at all he's accomplished, and especially if he beats a Spence, if he fights and beats a Garcia. Lord knows if he goes up and fights a Bud Crawford, they get in the ring and beat him. Floyd fanboys and stands will come back and say, well, he beat him and Floyd's undefeated. So the issue is what weighs more on the scale.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What weighs more on the scale is, like I just said, that guy's accolades as a collective. Like I said, those examples I just gave, guys that have lost to guys that they end up being better than on a Hall of Fame pound for pound list. You know what I'm saying? Guys losing to guys that are in the Hall of Fame, right? That, essentially the guys that they lost to don't even make it to the goddamn World Boxing Hall of Fame, let alone the international. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So losing to a guy does not fucking matter. Floyd decided to retire when he did. He had an excellent career. He really did. Lineal champion in every single division he's ever fought in, right? Beat upwards of 26 world champions and current whenever he fought them. Excellent career, dog. But at the end of the day, Manny Pacquiao, if he becomes a unified champion in the most stacked division in boxing, arguably the most stacked, because you got 115, 147, right? Arguably the most stacked division in boxing, where the most talent is at, where you've got 2 guys who hold belts in that division who are also arguably top 5 pound for pound fighters right now. If he beats one of those guys, because those are the only 2 other guys that have belts. It's another thing that you got to put in perspective. The only 2 other guys that hold belts at welterweight right now are 2 guys that are within the top 5 pound for pound or top 6, depending on where you got Errol Spence. So he would have to beat one of those guys to become unified at 41, 42, 43 years old. If he does that, on top of one of those guys being undefeated champions, one of them was an undisputed champion. He's better than Floyd, man. It is what it is. I can't say he's not.
Okay, then based on that, then I would tend to agree with you, because if he does this late in his career, and if we're going to be honest about Floyd, once Floyd became Money Mayweather, and once he moved up to welterweight, he beat guys, but he didn't beat guys on this level.
Exactly. You know, the thing, I get what Manny Pacquiao's saying, but at the same time, I don't think Floyd is envious. You know, being envious of somebody, for you dumb niggas, I'll give you the definition. It's basically when, you know, a motherfucker has certain assets or possessions, you know, money, et cetera, bitches, right? And you look at that and be like, damn, I want that. Floyd's not doing that to Manny Pacquiao. Why would he be doing that to Manny Pacquiao? You know what I'm saying? Look, Floyd has an opportunity to come back if he wanted to tomorrow and fight Errol Spence. Floyd will announce, yeah, I'm returning to boxing. If he was really envious of Manny Pacquiao, he'd be like, I'm returning to boxing. Give me Terrence Crawford right now. I guarantee you the WBO will be like, oh shit, make fight. They wouldn't give a fuck about what their rankings look like right now. They'd be like, oh shit, Floyd Mayweather's back. He wants Terrence Crawford, make the fight. But Floyd's not ranked. We'll do something. We'll get something done. But we need to make that fight. If he came back and said, I want Errol Spence right now, fuck Danny Garcia. Guess what? Floyd might have to pay Danny Garcia some step-aside money, but that nigga gonna step aside. Floyd gets to fight Errol Spence instead. So he could do this right now if he wanted to, if he was envious of Manny Pacquiao. Floyd is content with what he has done, right? Because Floyd is what his nickname is, money. He's got money. You see what I'm saying? So he doesn't give a fuck about having to come back and fight some young, undefeated black fighter, black champion, let me say that. Don't give a fuck about that because he's got all the shit that he's ever wanted out of his career. He's done what he said he was going to do when he was fighting Gennaro Hernandez, right? He said what he was going to do, and he became what he said he was going to become. So he's not sitting back looking at Manny Pacquiao and holding a WBA super title at the age of 41, you know, having fucking having tax problems and shit. You know what I'm saying? He looking at him, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I wish I had that. Nah, man. I don't think he's envious. But what I do believe is that, and Bo made a good point about this a few weeks ago. What I do believe is that Floyd is really looking at Manny Pacquiao and saying, if this dude continues to do what he's doing, he could be above me in terms of legacy. I do think that has crossed Floyd's mind because Floyd is a guy that loves the spotlight. And if somebody like Bo has said is taking the spotlight from him, right, Floyd will come out and say something. Remember, Canelo was taking the spotlight for a second. Floyd came out and said, yeah. Actually, he released a couple videos of him whooping Canelo's ass and was like, yeah, y'all forgot about this. Like, no, Floyd, nobody forgot about it. It's just, I mean, damn, nigga, let Canelo shine, nigga. You know what I'm saying? We know you whooped Canelo's ass. Great, nigga, you know, great. Round of applause, nigga. Now, you know, let Canelo shine. You're gone. He's here. You know what I'm saying? But that's what Floyd does, right? When his fighters get questions and shit, what does Floyd do? Jump in. I'll get that. You see? So when the shine is getting taken off of him, that's when he comes out. And that's when I told you guys, whenever the article came out, basically to what Manny Pacquiao is responding to, when he said, you know, oh, these guys shouldn't be fighting, shouldn't be going after old man and Manny Pacquiao. They need to be concentrating on each other. While the statement was correct in a sense, right? Because we do want to see Errol Spence fight Terrence Crawford, you know, Keith Thurman, you know, Sean Porter again. We do want to see those fights. At the end of the day, Floyd Mayweather is just saying that because there's a possibility that Manny Pacquiao could fuck around and beat an Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford. And if he does that, a lot of people are going to say Manny Pacquiao's legacy was better than Floyd's. And rightfully fucking so. He knows that. Floyd is not dumb. He might not be able to read, but he's not fucking dumb. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker's not dumb. All right? So at the end of the day, man, that's really why he's saying that shit. Floyd don't give a fuck about these young fighters' best interests unless they fuck with him. Unless it's Tank Davis or Devin Haney or, you know, guys that fight under the PBC banner that actually fuck with Floyd. He don't care about their best interests. Floyd only cares about Floyd, man. So while the statement was correct in a sense that we do want to see these young fighters fighting each other, he's saying that so that the goddamn attention can get taken away from Manny Pacquiao. That's exactly why the fuck he's saying. Now, I don't think, again, I'll recap, he's not envious. He's not envious of Manny Pacquiao at all. He's not envious of him at all. But he is watching, and he is seeing that if Manny Pacquiao continues to do what he's doing, his legacy could actually be under Manny Pacquiao.
You know what's funny, and it's funny you mentioned that, because Floyd actually did something like this to a similar fighter when it was mentioned if his legacy was better, and that was the one Andre Ward. And I remember when Andre Ward was coming up, and he came up through he won the Super 6. He was unified and ring champion at super middleweight. Then he went on to do what he did at light heavyweight. I remember when they was talking about, man, is Andre Ward legacy compared to Floyd, and Floyd was hating on him.
I remember that.
Yeah, he was hating on him, right? Because Andre Ward was even approaching that whole 50-0 and all that shit, but Ward wound up retiring. So Floyd was hating on him. So it's not far-fetched for me to believe that in a situation like this, I agree with you. I don't think he's envious, but I'm not going to sit back and think he's not watching, because Floyd himself will say, yo, I beat that guy. So he like Floyd feels like since I beat you, automatically that disqualifies you from being ahead of me.
And that's not the case. We got too many situations in boxing history where fighters have beaten fighters, and that fighter that, fighter B had, fighter A who had lost to fighter B ends up having a better fucking career and sits higher on a goddamn Hall of Fame list than fighter B. We've got way too many situations like that, man.
Mike, go ahead. You about to say something?
No, I'm pretty much agreeing. I'm congruent with everything that's being said here, and I'm just paying attention to the interesting conversation going on in the chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. Hey, Mike, in case you don't know, this chat be live. Cats in here know what they are talking about.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, man. My man Sporting Advantage said, Bo is putting the real shit on the table. That's like someone telling me Roy is terrible because of losses. I respond front or back.
Right.
All right. Brian David is saying, 2K, what about if they have similar careers?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if they have similar careers, right? So think of it as like the tiebreaker. You know what I'm saying, Brian? Think of it like that. If their careers are similar to the point where, it's like, damn, it's a toss-up. I don't know who's better. Then definitely you look at who beat who. I agree with that sentiment. You know what I'm saying? Like, if their careers were similar, I'm like, fuck, I don't know. Well, Floyd did beat Manny Pacquiao, so Floyd's better. Absolutely. I agree. I would agree with that. But in this case, if Manny Pacquiao defeats Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence, their careers ain't similar. That's all I'm saying.
He also said, so is Canelo not on their level?
No, not right now. Not at all.
Not right now. No,
okay.
No.
Very good, very good. We got a lot more in the chat. My man Jay said, I'm late FAF, but in these streets.
My man J.L. Davis is always in these streets.
Yep. Hey, good point, Lawrence Williams. What I talk about Floyd Hayden, he announced McGregor fight on the weekend of Ward Kovalev
Sure
2.
Sure did.
Damn, he is right about that.
Hashtag the guru, man. This nigga be knowing his shit. I don't know. Look, man, I don't know if the guru be sitting there on the laptop and shit. Oh, wait, them niggas said that. Hold on, let me type this shit up real quick. I don't know. Hey. I don't know if he do that, Bo, but that motherfucker be about 95% right. I'm just saying, man.
I think the motherfucker got a staff. And he has us on the bullhorn, and he types it in.
I'm telling you, man.
I definitely think he got his staff. Sporting Advantage said 2K, and most of us have Canelo ahead of all current.
Wait a minute. Current fighters right now?
Current.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, no, I mean, shit. If you look at what he's done, his body of work, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have him pound for pound number one yet, but I don't have a problem with people putting him there, not at all.
No, See, and here's the thing, and this is why here at Three Kings we take on that shit. We ain't scared of that shit. You know why? Because this is boxing. And listen, you know what? You remember that old saying that your mama would say, "This is gonna hurt me more than hurt you." Well, your mama was lying. We gonna give you the truth. This is gonna hurt you if you're a Floyd fan.
Yeah.
Nigga,
oh yeah.
It's definitely gonna hurt you more than it's gonna hurt us. We will feel no pain.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, if Manny Pacquiao goes on and he fights one of those killers, like you said, undefeated black fighter, right? Champion, Black fighter. He fights Errol Spence. He has 3 belts. Floyd never held more than 3 belts for a very long time. Remember, the WBO took that belt right off of him. And I think the only time he's ever fought for 3 belts of the governing sanctioned body is when he fought Manny Pacquiao, if I'm not mistaken. Okay? So he's never held all 3 belts. Pacquiao goes on and fights Earl. Then he beats Crawford, become undisputed. You goddamn right he goes ahead of Floyd.
Hey, I'm not doing it. Listen, I know I said that before. Fuck it. I went back and did some further analyzing, nigga. If he just beats Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence, he's over Floyd. He ain't got to be undisputed. If he just beats Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence and becomes a unified fucking champion and arguably the most stacked division and beating one of the top 5 current pound for pound fighters in the fucking world at the age of 41, that nigga's over Floyd.
Yep, and this is something else we do, like my man Prodigy did. I'm gonna take it back. This off the dome. Ring Magazine has Errol Spence #1, Terrence Crawford #2, Manny Pacquiao #3, Sean Porter #4, Danny Garcia #5, Keith Thurman #6. Now, mind you, he'd already beat Keith Thurman when Keith Thurman, I think, was right up underneath Crawford and Spence. So he beat Keith Thurman. Now, if he beats Spence or Crawford, he beat 2 of the top 10 best welterweights, and probably at the time when the division is at its peak and its highest. Past 40, you goddamn right.
I mean, that's yeah, right. But what's better said is that he beats 2 of the top fighters in the sport.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. 2 of the top welterweights, sure, yeah, whatever. But he beats 2 of the top fighters in the fucking sport, my nigga.
That's right on.
In their prime, that's awfully strong.
Yeah. In their prime when he's not.
Exactly. When he's not. Exactly.
In their prime when he's not. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, baby. My man Brian David. He's bringing the funk today. T. Crawford or Spence trumps Canelo. Yes, it does.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when Floyd fought Canelo's best win at the time, I believe, was
Austin Trout.
Did he already beat Austin Trout?
He beat Austin Trout before he fought Floyd.
Okay, Austin Trout. And before that, it was Jose Cito Lopez. Before that,
I think so. Yep.
Yeah. Come on. So Terrence Crawford is an undisputed champion at 140, the first undisputed champion since Costa Zoo, right? Errol Spence has beaten Kell Brook, right? He's beaten Sean Porter, right? And he's beaten Mikey Garcia. Those 3 guys right there are better than when Canelo beat Austin Trout and fucking Jose Cito Lopez and Miguel Vasquez. He fought Miguel Vasquez before Vasquez was even a champion, before he was even considered of looking at it being a champion. He fought him then twice, by the way.
Well, here's why it trumps they trump Canelo. Because when Floyd beat Canelo, everybody said one thing about Canelo. What? Canelo was green. Canelo was green. Canelo was green. They don't say that about Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence. We know they're not green.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So that's why he trumps him to me, because Terrence Crawford is a former undisputed champion at 140. We know this motherfucker is not green. He's a former undisputed champion. Yep. Errol Spence is a unified champion. And like you said, you named the guys he fought. So nobody's saying they green. When it was Canelo, everybody was saying he was green.
Well, the problem is, and I know where Brian David is going, he's looking at what Canelo has done. And that's not what you look at. Like you got to look at when those fighters beat them. You see what I'm saying? Now, you can look at that particular fighter's body of work after, losing to fighter A and be like, damn, look at what he ended up becoming. And that does make Floyd's win over Canelo look better. Absolutely. Right. But at the end of the day, the top priority in scrutinizing whether or not that win was a great win is when you look at when he fought them. That's right. Floyd fought Canelo when Canelo was still fucking green. Well, in a lot of people's eyes, not in my eyes. Beating Austin Trout was a big win, in my opinion, even though Austin Trout ended up not being shit. But at that time, Austin Trout had beat Miguel Cotto, right? So Austin Trout was a top-level fighter at that division. That was an excellent win for Canelo, even though I didn't think he won that fight. It was an excellent fight for Canelo. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, right, when Floyd fought him, the only fighters he had beaten of note were Austin Trout, Miguel Vasquez, and fucking Jose Cito Lopez. That's it. Meanwhile, Terrence Crawford became an undisputed champion, bro. That is a major accolade. It's the best accolade you can get. A lot of people clown Julius Ndongo, but you know what? Julius Ndongo became a 2-time champion, a fucking unified champion in a matter of 6 months.
Yep.
Yeah.
And by the way, Julius Ndongo beat 2 reigning champions in their backyards in a matter of 6 months. He went to the UK and whooped Ricky Burns' ass, and he went over to wherever the fuck Eduard Troyanovsky's from and whooped his ass.
Yep, traveled over 2 continents.
Exactly. In 6 months. So we could talk about how whack Julius Ndongo is today, but at that motherfucking time, when Terrence Crawford was getting ready to fight him, that was a bad motherfucker at that time, man.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and then we're talking about Kell Brook and Sean Porter, right? And Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia is a fucking 4-division champion. You see what I'm saying? He's a 4-division champion. Kell Brook had only lost to Gennady Golovkin, which was a sold really, right?
Yep.
He was undefeated at welterweight. And then you got Sean Porter. This motherfucker gives everybody problems. You see what I'm saying? Sean Porter's like that. If you had a pound for pound list for contenders, Sean Porter be number 1. Easily, too, by a landslide. Nobody fucks with Sean Porter on a pound for pound contender list. You know what I'm saying? Nobody fucks with Sean Porter, right? So those wins, absolutely, and those accolades, absolutely, way more than Canelo at the time that Floyd fought him. Absolutely.
Yeah, right. Let me clarify something. I'm saying people were saying Canelo was green. I didn't think Canelo was green. You're not green when you're holding the fucking title. So
No.
you're no longer green when you're holding the title. But what I'm saying is they trump Canelo because people were saying Canelo was so green when he fought him. Well, we know Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford is far removed from that. So if he beats one of them, yes, that trumps Canelo because at that time people felt Canelo shouldn't have been in the ring with him. It's not that way right now with Manny Pacquiao when you're talking about Spence and Crawford. See, so yeah, most definitely, boy. They bring it, Mike. You can jump in anytime.
I mean, yeah, just to 2K's points, it's about stages. You compare what fighter A has done up to that point, and you compare that to what fighter B, what they've done to a similar point. And when you look at Floyd, Canelo, and when you look at the scenario of Pacquiao beating a Spence or Pacquiao beating a Crawford, that will weigh far, far more than Floyd beating Canelo at when was that, 2013 or so?
Yep.
No, it's no comparison. Pacquiao would exceed. Pacquiao doing this now would far exceed what Floyd did then. And for anybody who wanted to try to state otherwise, they're being disingenuous.
Mm-hmm. My man, the Guru said Troya, who was one of the guys that Ndongo knocked out, was top 5 when Ndongo stretched.
He's talking about Eduard Troyanovsky. He was the IBF champion at the time.
Yeah, Troy, hold on. Something else, Troyanovsky, and this is something that I remember Prodigy told me. It was people that felt that Terrence Crawford was ducking Troyanovsky.
Oh my God, bro. Matter of fact, I remember the nigga went to my fucking, because I was talking about, I made a video about people saying Terrence Crawford was ducking Eduard Troyanovsky. And I was clowning. I was going in. Y'all know how I do shit, right? Motherfucker go comment on my video. Terrence Crawford is ducking Eduard Troyanovsky. He knows he doesn't want that smoke. I've seen Eduard spar some of the top fighters in the sport, and he dropped all those guys. Oh, man, shut the fuck up. And then lo and behold, literally like 2-3 months later, and Ndongo knocks this motherfucker out in the first round. And of course, I never saw that guy again.
It always goes. That always goes.
Exactly.
Hey, that motherfucker probably somewhere in the 3 Keys chat waiting on a slip up so he can get
Exactly, bro.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, go ahead. I'm just laughing in the background.
Yeah, World Combat. He wrote something earlier about him being in the house. We appreciate you. He said Canelo had 40+ fight when he fought Floyd, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they say he green. Exactly. That's why we're not saying he green because the motherfucker was a world champion. And you're right, he had over 40 fights. I'm just saying they were saying that. So
he just, Canelo was being carried. I mean, much like Mikey Garcia, not Mike Garcia, Ryan Garcia is right now, right? Yeah. Kind of like how Tank is, what Floyd is doing with him and Leonard Ellaby. He was being carried like a motherfucker. Remember, his first world title fight was either Matthew Hatton or Ryan Rhodes. I mean, we didn't even know. Nigga, we didn't even know Ricky Hatton had a brother, bro.
Canelo introduced us to a family
member. Canelo was introducing us all sorts of brothers, nigga. The fucking great value Miguel Cotto, they introduced us to him. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know what's his name, Jose Miguel Cotto. We didn't know the fuck he was.
Right.
A lot of people, I remember a lot of people hit me up. They were like, yo, Canelo fought Miguel Cotto back in like 2008. I was like, no, he didn't, bro. No, he did, bro. He did. I'm looking at it. I'm like, nigga, that's the older brother, bro. He didn't fight him. That's the older brother. Oh shit, I didn't even know the nigga had an older brother. So that's the type of guys Canelo was fighting. You see what I'm saying? And that's why people were saying when he was green, he had, X amount of fights, the kind of record at which you look at it and be like, damn, this motherfucker been around for a long time. But that's only because he started boxing at the age of 15 years old, talking professionally. He went pro at 15 years old and boxed. Shit, he fought a lot of dudes. Like I said, he fought Miguel Vasquez twice. Yeah. One of those fights was like his third professional fight, and another one was like maybe like his 16th or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Miguel Vasquez, if you guys don't know, this is the former WBC lightweight champion. That's how far down Canelo goes. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So, he's been around for a long time, but he's fought a lot of guys that A, didn't matter, B, on the, that were green themselves, and those are the guys that pretty much took up the record that you saw when he got in the ring with Floyd Mayweather, outside of Jose Cita Lopez, if you consider him, and fucking Austin Trout. So that's why people were saying he was green. But in my opinion, in Bo's opinion, nah, not at all.
Not at all. My man Jay, of course, bringing the funk. See, this is why I love what we do. They come with it, and we don't run or hide. Jay said, but does Manny beating Crawford or Spence makes Floyd legacy that much greater since he basically watched Manny when they fought?
No.
Go
ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
No,
you got it?
No.
Go ahead, Mike. You got it.
Context is critical here. Floyd beat Manny, but at the same time, you have to put in consideration where a Bud or a Spence is now. They're in their primes now. They're elite now. You can't take that away from Manny. I don't care if Floyd did beat him. Right. What he's doing now matters just as much as what he did then. So no, that doesn't weigh over. If Manny does this, it's about what he does now, who he beat now, and the caliber and quality of fighter he beats now. You can't take that out of consideration.
Right. And another thing I want to add on top of what Mike said is that you could think of it this way. If Floyd Mayweather were to come back, he's the greatest fighter of this era, right? As of now. If he were to come back, we know that Floyd would have trouble with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Everybody knows this. Now, the majority of you will say, yeah, Floyd beats both of those guys. He beats the shit out of both of them. Sure, right? That's fine. But we know that if Floyd were to come back, maybe get one tune-up in, fight Andre Berto again or some stupid shit like that, right? Fuck it. And then say, yeah, I'm getting ready to fight Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford. We know we would be like, that's going to be a good fucking fight. See, and that's part of what my man Mike was saying about context. If you are sure that if Floyd were to come back and fight Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence, and you guys know that would be a good fight, then if Manny Pacquiao fights these guys and beats them, that puts it in proper context. That tells you the value at which a win over those guys at the age of 41 for Manny Pacquiao, who did lose to Floyd Mayweather, how valuable that would be. That basically right there says it all to me, bro.
Jay, I understand what you're saying. Let me say this. It doesn't increase Floyd's legacy. However, it does make you think of how good he was because he was able to beat a Manny Pacquiao who's going on to do the things that he done against these two young fighters. But it doesn't say to me, Floyd legacy is great because look at the guy he beat and look what he's doing. No, I get what you're saying. It's just that for me, I would just look at Floyd and say, yo, that motherfucker really was all that. I mean, he beat Pacquiao. Look what the fuck Pacquiao is doing in his absence.
Yeah.
But it doesn't add to Floyd's legacy.
No, it doesn't. No, that's one thing that a lot of people do. They will like I'm about to say something, man. Niggas gonna get mad at 2K, but what is it, Bo? Are they always mad at me, dog?
Shit, nigga, I'm trying to figure out when you start giving a fuck. You make us mad on the daily, bro.
Exactly. Let me say something, man. I specifically remember motherfuckers adding to Deontay Wilder's legacy, right? Because Eric Molina knocked out Tomas Adamek.
I did that. I know you ain't shit. You ain't shit. You ain't shit.
This nigga Bo had a casual moment for a second.
You ain't shit.
I said, dog, how the fuck does Deontay Wilder's win over Eric Molina look any better just because Molina beat Tomas Adame? That don't mean shit. And then it was Johan Duhapis beat I think it was Robert Hell Anus?
Yep.
He beat Johan Duhapis beat Hell Anus. So somehow that made Wilder's win over Duhapis better. Man, I was like, nigga, I remember I was in the car. I'm in the car with my wife. We looking for a fucking parking spot in downtown Dallas. We looking for a parking spot and shit. And if you live in downtown or you live in Dallas and you've been to downtown Dallas, you know how hard that shit is. I'm arguing with Bo while I'm looking for a fucking parking spot, missing shit, passing up open spots and shit. How the hell you gonna talk about that shit? Make his wins better.
I remember that shit. I called him on the phone and said, "Hey man, listen, another nigga he beat. Look what he did." You like, bro. First of all, Robin Lanus ain't nobody to begin with. But nigga, how the fuck does that?
Yeah, man, we was going off on that, man. But that, you know, besides Bo's one critical moment where he was a casual for 15 minutes, you know, a lot of people do that shit on the daily. They just look at boxing like that and they say, "Oh shit, you know, this guy beat this guy, but he had lost to this guy, so that guy's better." They do that all the time, dog, and that's not the right way. That's not the right way to do it.
My man Lawrence Williams says Vasquez top 5 boring fight of all time. Abril up there too. Thank you.
Hey man, hold up, man.
Thank you.
Hey, the Guru. Hey, hold up, man. The Guru about to get blocked. Hey, bro, where the fuck my block button? I know there's a block button somewhere on here.
Abril, man, stop bringing that nigga up. Nigga got 7 knockouts.
The Guru, I'm about to block your ass off YouTube, Twitter. I don't want you follow me ever. Leave me alone, bro.
Guru, keep it coming. As a matter of fact, Guru, if you can find back-to-back knockouts on a Brill resume, goddamn it, I'm donating $20 my damn self to this group.
Man, look, Manny Pacquiao ain't knocked a motherfucker out in years. So what does that mean? That ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Bro, we ain't talking about no Manny Pacquiao. We talking about you keep bringing this nigga up. Mike, you been fucking with me about a Brill, dog. Oh,
man, y'all hating on Richard Brill, man. That man right there, I think his record was 30, 33, 1 and 8 knockouts, if I remember correctly. That motherfucker should be 33-0. Probably should be 30.
He had 3 losses, all split decisions too, all close fights.
That's what I'm saying. He should probably be 34-0 with 8 knockouts, no draws, no losses, because all 3 of them split decisions was fucking robberies, nigga. And then that draw was a robbery too, even though that shit wasn't live. I know it was a robbery. You know what I'm saying? Richard Brill is probably one of the best Cuban fighters in boxing history. Niggas like Bo. Don't mute me, dog. Don't do that shit. I can't stand that shit. That nigga won't get his due, bro.
He won't get.
I don't even know where the fuck you muted me at, nigga. I'm gonna repeat it because you fucked up and muted me. The nigga should be 34-0 with 8 knockouts because that 3 losses were fucking robberies and the 1 draw was a robbery. Now, that nigga should go down as one of the greatest Cuban fighters in boxing history. Richard Brill, my nigga. Stamp it, nigga. Matter of fact, I'm about to go get me a Richard Brill shirt. I'm making one, dog. I'm making it.
Oh my god.
Richard Brill, nigga. The greatest.
Oh my god, man. If we ever had a fight, I see Richard Brill, I'm gonna tell him, hey man, take your ass home. Fuck out this building. Fuck out of here. This motherfucker see you, he gonna make me take a picture with your lame ass. Fuck out of here.
The greatest.
7 knockouts.
The only boxer to be able to go back and forth from America to Cuba, my nigga. That's how great he is. That nigga said, yeah, I defected. I'm going back.
That's how much pity they had for him. They said, man, you went over there and didn't do shit, huh? Yeah, come on back home, nigga. My man, Word Combat Sports said 2 words. He was talking about what you said, Mike.
Yeah.
He was talking about what you said, Mike.
Okay.
Well, he said, Bo just going to edit it. I know.
He can't edit it. It's on my channel. That nigga ain't got access to my channel.
Oh, Miss Point Event said, like that dude questioning the way you pronounce the name wrong. We still not allowing beta.
Word up, man. Word
man,
up.
Duhapis was added too when he stopped the lane is after Wilder. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Last one before we move on is Floyd fans are praying that Bud or Spence washes Manny. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, they are, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
They are.
Hey, I guarantee you, Floyd might not be at that fight, but Floyd will be watching it. There'll be a video of Floyd
Yeah, man. Yeah,
celebrating that defeat, goddamn.
he will definitely be watching it, and he'll definitely. We don't know if it'll come out in the media or not, but he'll definitely have comments on that.
Nah,
fight,
Floyd will watch. He'll just claim that he didn't watch.
Exactly.
You know what? Good point, Mike. Floyd, did you? I didn't. You know, I'm so busy, and you know, and what I'm saying is that you know,
and then and then throw a water cash on the table and talking about what he got and all that stuff. So
yeah,
we all know how Floyd does.
Ain't got shit to do with the fight, right?
Not at all. Not at all, man. All right, man. Let's move on to the next topic. And this I hate to say this because this is actually a guy that I like. But he said something that I just can't let go. Unified junior welterweight champion Jose Ramirez. As we all know, he holds one of the belts he holds, of course, is the WBC and the WBO belt. And that #1 mandatory fighter is that motherfucker Jack Catterall. Jack Catterall been there for, I think, over a year and a half now, right?
Yeah, it's been a little while. And Maurice Hooker held the damn belt, man.
Right, okay. So we know that Jose Ramirez is going to fight Josh Taylor. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with you going for undisputed. It's what he said, and it was really revealing when he said this, right? So Jose Ramirez said that if Catterall and them is smart, then they would step aside, right, and let Taylor and Ramirez fight because the winner will more likely vacate. Once they win, they will vacate, move on to bigger and better things, and that he has a chance of winning the belt, fighting a lesser dangerous fighter for the vacant WBO title. I don't know what I can't believe I heard a fighter say that. I really don't know what to say. On top of the fact that every fighter wants to beat the champion to win a belt. No fighter wants to fight for the vacant title. They rather beat the champion. That's the reason why Devin Haney signed on to fight Luke Campbell, right? Mm-hmm. And it's also the reason why when they gave it to Lomachenko, he said, "Well, I'll fight Lomachenko." Mm-hmm. Okay, no fighter wants to just be handed a vacant motherfucking belt. They want to fight that it's better for them to say I beat the actual fucking champion, right? But to sit there, I get if you want to go for undisputed. I don't have a problem with you saying that. But to say that if they were smart, they let us fight because the motherfucker would vacate instead of the winner might fight him. You didn't say the winner might fight him. You said the winner might vacate. He can fight a less dangerous opponent.
Why does he care?
Go ahead, Mike.
Why? Wait a minute. Why does he care? He should give a damn. He should not give a damn.
He's giving advice.
So what? Still, why? Why is he giving advice? To me, first of all, I don't understand fighters giving advice and conceding like that to other fighters in 2020. I mean, what the hell is this? What is boxing nowadays in 2020? That's number one. Number two, it seems to me he's saying something like this because if Ramirez beats Taylor, it says that he really doesn't want to fight Catterall. That's what it says ultimately to me, because you don't give this kind of advice, strategy, or whatever. If you really feel that way, you keep it to yourself and you just put up a false pretense of like, if he's there, I'll fight him, knowing darn well you're going to move up. I just don't understand this speaking out loud, for lack of better words. It's just something you just don't do as a fighter. You let other folks do that. You let the managers do that. You let the promoters do that. You don't do that yourself as a fighter. That makes no sense.
Well, that's boxing today. That's boxing today. You know, but what do I say these fighters need, man?
PR people.
Exactly. Jose Ramirez, and see when you this is why I hate being an intelligent nigga, man. I want to be a dumb nigga for a day, because when shit hits me, nigga, I immediately know how to analyze the shit, dog, and I can give you a logical fucking analysis of what is being said. Soon as Bo hit me with this fucking news, immediately something caught my attention. This nigga said, you know, the winner of, me or Josh Taylor, what's probably going to happen is the winner's more than likely is gonna vacate the title and move up. So that gives Jack Catterall an opportunity to fight for the vacant title. What he basically just said to you guys was, because Jose Ramirez, if you ask him, hey man, do you think Josh Taylor's gonna beat you if y'all fight? He's gonna say, no, I'm gonna beat him, right? So he thinks he's going to beat Josh Taylor. So in essence, what he actually said to you guys was, after I beat Josh Taylor, I'm vacating. I'm not fighting Jack Catterall. I'm vacating and I'm going up to 147. That's what he said.
100% true.
That's what he said. And that's exactly what Mike is basically saying. You don't want to fight Jack Catterall. That's basically what he said, but in a nice way, right? And probably didn't realize what he said because these fighters need fucking PR people. He probably didn't realize what he actually said. But that's what he said. He basically just told you guys, I'm going to duck Jack Catterall after I beat Josh Taylor. That's what he said. So that's my problem in this situation, dog. I get him saying, if he would have never said that, it would have been cool. If he would have just said, yeah, you know, it's better off if he just wait for the winner of Josh Taylor and me. If he would have just said that, I'd have been with him, right? Because he would be saying that because he wants to fight for the undisputed crown. He wants to be the next undisputed champion after Terrence Crawford now at 140, right? So it's logical for him to say, nah, man, Jack Catterall can wait. I don't want him getting in the way of me becoming undisputed. He can wait until after that. But instead he said, well, the winner's probably going to vacate so he can fight for the vacant title. That just told you he has no intentions on getting in the ring with Jack Catterall. Real talk, rightfully so. I like Jose Ramirez, but I would take you guys back to a fight. He fought a mandatory by the name of Jose Cepeda. He had all types of trouble with that slick southpaw style. All types of trouble. Guess what type of style Jack Catterall is?
Slick southpaw.
Slick southpaw that has what kind of experience does he have, Bo?
He was Floyd Mayweather's sparring partner for Manny Pacquiao.
Absolutely. Spent an entire training camp with Floyd Mayweather preparing him for Manny Pacquiao. So not only is he a slick southpaw, which can give Jose Ramirez trouble like Jose Cepeda did, but now he has some tools for his, you know, basically some new tools in his toolbox that he learned from the greatest fighter of this era. Hell yeah, he's a fucking problem, right? That's why Maurice Hooker was like, yeah, I'm the WBO champion. They're like, hey, man, #1, Jack Catterall. Hey, man, I'm trying to get that French nigga. What's his name? The French nigga from Brooklyn, Les Pierre or some shit. Give me that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Give me that motherfucker. Jack Catterall's at the fight. He attends the fight and watches Maurice Hooker beat this Les Pierre cat, right? And still doesn't mention Jack Catterall. Nobody talks about Jack Catterall, right? They act like he's not there. The reason why is because one of the biggest thing is Jack Catterall's nickname is, what is it, the gentleman? He doesn't talk shit, right? He really doesn't say much of anything. Jack Catterall is a nice dude, right? You talk to him, he's always smiling and shit. He's always upbeat. Everything's great. You know what I'm saying? So with that kind of attitude, it's easy to walk over that fighter. You could be sitting at #1 for fucking 20 years like Dillian White is in the WBC, right? And they'll probably extend it longer than Dillian White. WBC got tired of Dillian White bitching and moaning, so they said, fuck it. Oscar Rivas will be the goddamn the fight where you become the mandatory then. Jack Catterall, they're just like, yeah, he's #1. That's it, bro. That's what they're doing with him. So at the end of the day, bro, he is a problem for Jose Ramirez because of his style, right? He does have the opportunity if he wants this fight, because he's saying, I don't want step aside money. He's a true fighter. He don't want step aside money. Jack Catterall said, nigga, my name ain't a leader Alvarez, motherfucker. I don't take step aside money. You know what I'm saying? I want the fight right now. So if he does get in the way of that undisputed clash with Josh Taylor, I'm letting you guys know, if you don't know who Jack Catterall is, go to YouTube and look him up. Watch his fights. He's a good fighter, and he can most definitely give Jose Ramirez trouble because not only does he have the same style as a fighter that gave him trouble previously in Jose Cepeda, he's a better fighter, and he's a smarter fighter than Jose Cepeda. Yeah, dog, that's trouble. And Jose Ramirez knows that. That's why he's trying to downplay it. Here's the thing.
And once again, Prodigy, I want you to turn around, man. I'm finna extend my back. I'm finna pat you on the back, The reason why I'm doing that, Jack Catterall, when he was asked about that, Jack Catterall openly admitted that he knew after being with Floyd, nobody could fuck with him on that domestic level. That's why he was running through them niggas.
Easy work.
He openly admitted what you said about a podcast or two ago. He said after coming from that, I was basically running through cats at the gym and on that level. He said, I knew I was beyond the domestic level. So you're right. He is a huge problem, right? So think about this for a second, because I'm looking at Jack Catterall, and there's somebody else that was a southpaw. He wasn't slick, but he was a rough and rugged southpaw with some good moves. That was the one Regis Prograis. See, they got out of that one. You think they ain't gonna get out of Jack Catterall?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, for me, I agree with both my boys right here. He's openly saying, if I win, I'm out. I'm going. That's basically what he's openly saying. Hey man, look, if I win, I'm out. I'm gone. That's basically what he's saying. See, because this is a problem that he inherited from Maurice Hooker and has not acted upon. That's why he's so adamant about it. After Victor Postal, I want to fight Josh Taylor. After Victor, I want to fight him. If Jack Catterall don't step aside, you're gonna have to do what you're gonna have to do. And I'm all for Jack Catterall not stepping aside, because again, if you are a champion and you got the fighter's mentality, you don't want to fight for no vacant fucking belt. You want to beat the motherfucker that's holding that bitch.
And he would probably fight fucking Liam Perrell. I mean, Liam Perrell, he's ranked number 2 by the WBO right now at 140. Liam Perrell's an undefeated, contender out of Australia. But man, Jack Catterall will fuck him up. You know what I'm saying? That's who he would end up fighting, bro. If we ended up going this route, which we probably will go this route, because in reality, Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor have much bigger names than Jack Catterall. So Jack Catterall's probably not going to get what he wants. You see what I'm saying?
Once Catterall made easy work of O'Hara Davies, you knew he was far past domestic level. He is primed and ready for a world title shot. I used to think maybe step aside, but no, not after what Ramirez said. No, you don't step aside for shit. You get your opportunity, and when you get in the ring with them, you whoop ass and take names.
Listen, Jack Catterall has, and to your point, Mike, Jack Catterall talked about that. He talked about how if you look at some type of, they got some type of golden tournament going on with O'Hara Davies and Tyrone McKinney. Catterall, like, man, I watched both them niggas. I watched both them niggas.
I watched both of them, dog. Like, what the fuck? I'm telling you, man, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy, man. And my man, the Guru, said something. He said, I could see Jose Cepeda versus Jack Catterall like they did for Bradis. Right. So Jose Cepeda right now is ranked number 4. So I could see that fight happening. Plus Liam Perrell coming out of Australia, they don't have much of a backing. He'd have to attach himself to Top Rank or some big major promotional company out here in order to get that kind of a fight. But yeah, I could actually see that fight getting put together, or maybe Victor Postal, because remember, Jose Ramirez is supposed to be fighting Victor Postal, right? I mean, I think that fight got canceled twice.
Yeah,
I don't even think it's rescheduled right now. You know what I'm saying?
It's not
yet. So you never know what can happen. They might just jump into fucking Josh Taylor versus Jose Ramirez, or maybe Jose Ramirez might fight somebody else to prepare for Josh Taylor, which would leave Victor Postal wide open. Right, and then he goes on to fight Josh Taylor, wins or loses, and then that winner vacates the WBO. It could be Jack Catterall and Victor Postal. You see what I'm saying? Because they're trying to get Victor Postal in the mix. They're trying to do that. So I think more so than anybody else, it would be a Jack Catterall versus Victor Postal if Jose Ramirez doesn't fight him.
No, not at all. My man, World Sports Combat says, how do y'all see Regis progressing at 147? Will he have problems with Hooker? No.
Hell no.
No. He knocks out Hooker.
Yeah, he beat the shit out of Maurice Hooker, man. Yeah, Maurice Hooker's not that good, man. I was never on the Maurice Hooker. Ever since he should have took his first loss to Darlys Perez on the undercard of Andre Ward versus Sergey Kovalev, the first fight. On that undercard, I thoroughly saw Darlys Perez whoop Maurice Hooker's ass. You know what I'm saying? Then after that, Terry Flanagan moves up to 140 and has the fight with Maurice Hooker for the vacant WBO title. And he struggled with fucking Terry Flanagan over there in the UK, man. Nah, bro. Nah. Maurice Hooker was never somebody that was should have ever been talked about as an elite level fighter, man. Nah, bro.
My man Scott Brown finally came up with something that we can say ain't trolling. Catterall must be better than Conlon.
Yeah, oh yeah, he way better than Mick Conlon. Yeah, he way better than Mick.
He said the Texan said it was actually shocked seeing a lot of guys picking Hook over Ramirez that fight.
I don't know what the fuck they were doing, man. Do you know what they were looking at, the Texan? They were looking at Maurice Hooker's height and reach advantage. But what they didn't understand was Maurice Hooker is much like fucking Robert Easter Jr. He gives it up. He doesn't box you the whole fight. Look at the fight with Alex Saucedo, right? Alex Saucedo caught that nigga and dropped him. Why? Now he turned around and dropped Saucedo right after that. But my point is, if you're that high quality of a fighter, you shouldn't be getting caught like that in the pocket against a fighter like Alex fucking Saucedo. You see what I'm saying? And you're getting ready to fight Jose Ramirez, man. You about to get washed. I knew this. I knew that was a knockout within 6. I knew that was a knockout within 6, man. You know? But if Maurice Hooker ever learned how to use his height and reach the way that he should, like Robert Easter should, yeah, he could probably be a problem. But then again, I still don't think he's that great of a boxer from the outside either. So, what it is.
Sporting Advantage said, never heard a thing through this social media burst. Nope. That's what they don't talk about what we talk about, baby.
Right.
Not at all. Not at all. All right, man, let's go ahead on to the last one. WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman. He's out here saying that, Canelo career, it could have ended, Vato. It could have ended with Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you, because you remember when he fought Floyd, Canelo, he was just so green. He was not ready for that, right? But he fight Floyd and he lose. That could have been the end of his career. I'm proud of the Vato. The Vato bring himself up from the La Calle, El Barrio, and he made something of himself, man.
Simón órale, Vato.
I dip my Tecate.
Oh, fuck. Word up, man. Yeah,
oh, man. What do you think about that? Because he actually, I see where he's going with it. I see what he's trying to say. Because if you look at boxing, there's a lot of guys that after taking that first loss, they were never the same. They never to get their momentum back. Kelly Pavlik was one of them. David Reed was another one. Tavares Cloud was another one. So I see what he's saying, but I think there's a little something he's missing about how Canelo was able to come back, man. Prodigy, go ahead, man. I'm gonna let you take it.
Well, this is gonna take me a while. Let Mike take it.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead,
Mike. Again, context is critical here. Yep. Number one, if you saw Canelo on the come up, his constitution was greater than all those fighters that you mentioned, Bo. That's first and foremost. His constitution, who he was as a fighter, who he is as a person in and out of the ring, was far more vast than the guys you just mentioned. Number two, he had the financial backing of Golden Boy.
Exactly.
So no way. There's no way. Why is Mauricio Sulaiman talking to boxing fans like we're stupid? We know better.
Well, majority of boxing fans are stupid.
I'm about to say that's because he ain't talking to us, Mike.
Exactly. I say this shit all the time on this show, and Mike, you heard me say it several times in the chat and on this show. Boxing fans, majority of boxing fans are fucking stupid, man. They really are, and that's why these boxing promoters and these networks are able to put bullshit ass fights and marinate fights and do this and X, Y, and Z. And fight fans still go along with it. And listen, these promoters and networks got fight fans actually defending them. When did that ever happen, Bo?
I mean, this is not a Roberto Duran, Davey Moore situation where, for those who don't know, Davey Moore, up and coming fighter, won the title real young. Put him in with the older Duran, and Duran just beat him up, and he was never the same. Floyd didn't do that. Floyd didn't do that. Even in the loss, you know that Canelo was not going to go anywhere. Anybody who saw Canelo on the way up and saw him in that fight, he's got a future. So for Mauricio Sulaiman to say that, I mean, stop it, man. Stop it.
Like yeah, dog. Like at the end of the day, man, I really don't know what Mauricio Sulaiman's trying to gain there. I don't know. I really don't know what Like, what advantage do you think he would be trying to gain by saying that, Mike? I really don't know. Maybe you can answer that.
Because let's face it, Canelo and Mauricio is tied at the hip.
Yeah.
He's a stand for Canelo. Keep in mind, but Canelo was named the franchise champion for a reason.
Right.
So that tells me right there that it come hell or high water, Mauricio Sulaiman is going to say something in favor of him, regardless. Even to those who are in the know, it makes no sense in what he's saying. That statement made no sense. He's just going to favor Canelo. It is what it is. Franchise champion for a reason. Okay, that's why.
That is a situation where he can always make Canelo look good. If there's an opportunity to always make Canelo look good, he will. And that's what that is, by saying, man, look where he's come, from the Floyd Mayweather loss. The Floyd Mayweather, he's going to basically set up that loss to be the worst thing that could have happened to Canelo, but he was able to overcome. You see what I'm saying? Listen, Canelo was 22 years old when he fought Floyd Mayweather. 22 years old, bro. You know what I'm saying? So when a fighter loses, and I'll go back to Joshua Greer Jr. losing to Stephen Fulton early in his career. Joshua Greer Jr. lost to Stephen Fulton early in his career. Fast forward to today, Joshua Greer Jr. is the #1 WBO contender. And he didn't even go on any kind of run like Canelo did. Joshua Greer Jr. didn't fight Miguel Cotto, Austin Trout, Erislandy Lara. I'm going to even name washed fighters and fights that he probably could have lost but got the decision. Gennady Golovkin, Sugar Shane Mosley. He didn't. Joshua Greer Jr. didn't fight any of those equivalents at bantamweight since losing to Stephen Fulton. You know what I'm saying? And bantamweight is a stacked division. There's a lot of motherfuckers at bantamweight. You see what I'm saying? So it's not as if the fighters weren't there. He just worked himself back up. Why? Because he was young enough to do so, and the loss was early in his fucking career. So there's that aspect. Then, as Mike already mentioned, he's got Golden Boy behind him. I tell people all the time, Top Rank is an excellent promotional company for young and up-and-coming fighters that want to become champions. That's what Top Rank is for, right? They got probably the smartest promoter in boxing in Bob Arum, backing that fucking brand and putting shit together because he could see what's going to happen before it happens and puts fights together, a la Jose Ramirez and Maurice Hooker. He knew that was going to be a knockout win, right? So he could do shit like that, make you a better fighter, right? Look what he's doing for Shakir Stevenson right now. You see what I'm saying? But Golden Boy probably has the biggest business backing in boxing right now. The reason why I say that is because Golden Boy is able to get scorecards to be in Canelo's favor, even against the greatest fighter of this era. I'll never forget that. You see what I'm saying? Canelo lost 10 rounds in that fight and still ended up with a scorecard that had a draw. He had a back and forth affair against Gennady Golovkin in the first fight and still ended up with a scorecard that was like 118-110. He lost, in my opinion, to our Erislandy Lara and had a scorecard of 117-111. A lot of people disagree with me, and I have no problem with this. I thought he lost this fight, but people don't think so. That's fine. I don't care. But the fight was closer. The Austin Trout fight was closer than Stanley Christodoulou's scorecard. Stanley Christodoulou only had Austin Trout winning like 2 rounds. How? Because Austin Trout won like round 1 through 6. Behind one punch, the jab. Canelo couldn't get around the jab because at that moment in time, he didn't have no fucking head movement. He didn't start slipping the jab until like round 9 or something. Or was it round 7 when he slipped the jab and landed a counter and knocked Trout down?
It was
like
late because
it was between round 7 and 10, one of those rounds.
Yeah, because of the open scorecard, Austin Trout switched up the game plan.
Well, yeah, he switched up the game plan because he saw Stanley Christodoulou's scorecard.
Sure did.
Stanley Christa fucking Doodoo, nigga, that's his name. Stanley Christodoulou saw his fucking scorecard, man. He's like, shit, I gotta knock this motherfucker out now. So that's what I'm saying, dog. Like, he's got the best business backing in terms of robbing niggas. You know what I'm saying? Getting the expectations of what they want. Man, they getting ready to fight Daniel Jacobs. They getting ready to fight Daniel Jacobs. Mind you, Daniel Jacobs is a Eddie Hearn fighter. Eddie Hearn is the ambassador for DAZN. This fight is on DAZN. Daniel Jacobs had double the backing and still had to concede to Canelo and Golden Boy. Think about that. They said, yeah, this is going to be for the IBF title. But then Daryl Peoples over at the IBF was like, yeah, but for unifications, we don't honor that, that 10-pound regulation where you can't rehydrate 10 pounds after fight night or after the weigh-in. They said, we don't honor that shit when it's a unification. We only honor it if it's an IBF title fight. So Golden Boy was like, oh, okay, bet. Oh, here you go, Jacobs. Give me that contract. Let me see that real quick. I'm gonna cross some shit out real quick and add this right here. There you go. That's the new contract. Then it says, yeah, nigga, 10-pound rehydration clause. And if you fuck that up, you got to pay us. You know what I'm saying? Daniel Jacobs had double the fucking backing, DAZN and Matchroom, and still had to concede to that. That's how fucking powerful Golden Boy is, man. Even though Al Heyman took all they fighters, nigga, give me that nigga, that nigga, that nigga, that nigga, that nigga, that nigga, and that nigga too. All of them. Matter of fact, give me him too. They did that. It didn't matter. Golden Boy's still powerful as fuck. Still. So, with that being said, that shit right there alone, regardless of the fact that losing a fight at the age of 22 years old, you could easily recover from that. And then you just lost to the greatest of this era. So, I mean, who's really going to slap your fucking hand for doing that? You know what I'm saying? Right? Besides that, the fact that he has the backing that he has, dog, that's why he's able to beat Canelo today. It has nothing to do with the fuck Mauricio Sulaiman saying, man.
You know what I got out of that statement? Before I go on, Brian David dropped $2 on it. He said, y'all know y'all shit. Appreciate you, big dog.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. What I got out of that was Elisa Sulaiman felt I need to protect Canelo. That's what I got out of that. That's what I got out of that. Because why would you care if his career is over or not? I never heard you say it about Noah. I never heard you say it about nobody. Nobody. I never heard the IBF say that we feel that what's that nigga name? Guthrie. I think his name Guthrie.
Dude, that's
Reggie.
Cool.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Reggie Johnson fought the new IBF champion. I think that nigga
William Guthrie.
Guthrie. Right? Yeah. When Reggie Johnson flattened that nigga, I mean, he out cold on the ground. He flattened the fuck out of him, right? And William Guthrie was a paper champion. I don't give a fuck with nobody. That nigga had no business being there.
No, he shouldn't have been there.
No, he shouldn't have been there. He flattened him. I remember the IBF coming out. Oh, God, my God. We're worried about William Guthrie's career being over. It's just, oh, Jesus. I don't remember the WBO coming out. I think Canelo, I think Kovalev is done. Andre Ward did fucked up Kovalev. Oh, my God. Oh. I don't remember nobody even coming out saying that we think Bernard Hopkins is over when he slid out the ring. Why are you giving a fuck?
Yeah, right.
Hold on, the WBC didn't jump in the ring. Oh, Dominique Brazzelli, his career could be over. Oh God, Dominique. You know, I mean, I can understand why he was a beta male. You wouldn't want to protect that motherfucker. I get it. I'm just saying, I don't remember y'all saying that. So what I got out of that was, I have to protect Canelo. That's what I got out of that. I got to keep my shit good with Oscar and protect his meal ticket. That's what I got out of that. Because why are you so worried about this motherfucker career being over? What organizational president comes out and say some shit like that, man?
I mean, remember how they protected him when he ate them Clambito steaks?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They protected the shit out that nigga. Hey, man, we're going to...
Gennady Golovkin, who was your fucking champion?
Exactly. Exactly, bro. Exactly. They didn't give a fuck, nigga. Yeah, bro. All right, man. Look, remember when they tried to what did they do, Bo?
They tried to put a gag on Golovkin at first about the shit.
I'm trying to remember what they did to Canelo. Canelo was like, man, fuck y'all niggas, man. What was it?
That's
they tried to
when
give him a belt or something like that.
no, yeah, they tried to give him a belt in the fight he had with somebody. It was like a WBC special Mexican heritage belt, WBC heritage belt. That's what it was. And he said he was like, I don't want that shit.
This is terrible, man.
I don't want that shit.
They want Canelo to be the face of their organization because of who he is and what he stands for, plus his backing. You know what I'm saying? So they, like Bo said, they got to protect Canelo, and that's what this is. This right here is just to. I mean, Canelo will always be relevant. I'm not saying it's to keep him relevant. It's basically to keep his image alive, right?
But it's just a repeat of what his father did. It's the same way Jose Sulaiman did so with Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. back in the 80s and 90s.
Good point, Mike. Good point.
Right.
If you want an example, what I'm talking about, that draw with Pernell Whitaker in '93.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I remember that. Yep. That motherfucker was on damage control. Jose was playing damage control with fucking Julio Cesar Chavez's image. Right? Was it Sports Illustrated that
Sports
had
Illustrated?
That just said robbed.
Right.
Just said robbed, bro.
Sports Illustrated had that number, and then there was commercial Pernell Whitaker was in when it said the most technically sound greatest fighter just had a fight over the weekend.
And if you want a second example, how Chavez regained the title against Frankie Randall in that second fight. Cut?
Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cut. Really? You're right, Mike.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they played. That was an excellent comparison. They played damage control. Jose Sulaiman played damage control like crazy for Chavez, and Mauricio's doing it for Canelo. And that's all this is, man. It's really to keep his image alive, man. Hey, y'all remember Canelo lost to Floyd, man? That could have killed his career, but look at how he's doing now. Look at the man he's become. That is ball. What is he? What, I'm saying it wrong. That is cojones, ese. Look at what he's done out there. He's fucking perfect, eh? The motherfucker lost to Floyd Mayweather, ese. And then he fights everybody, fucking Sugar Shane, ese. He fucking fought fucking Erislandi Lara when he didn't have to, eh? He didn't have to, ese, but he did it anyway. Fucking ese. He's a fucking legend, Holmes. Living legend. That's all this is, bro.
You know what, Mike? Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't the WBC do the same thing for Chavez when there was some fight he had? At first, it was declared a no contest, and then they changed that motherfucker to a W.
Yeah, but that was before. That was early in his career, though, where he lost, but then they changed the decision. And it was, he was disqualified for losing. He lost by disqualification. Then they changed it around. Yeah.
So yeah, most definitely.
But the bottom line is, one, Sulaiman is protecting him, and his statement is stupid because I think it was the 2K's point. Golden Boy, the entity that it is, it has too much invested in Canelo for him to fail. They're not going to let him fail.
No, they're not. Mm-hmm. That's why we came out with the knockout draw.
That's right.
That will be the new decision, just like they came out with this franchise tag shit. They're gonna come out. There's going to be a new global boxing decision called the knockout draw. If Canelo, for some reason, ends up getting knocked out, which I don't ever think would ever happen, but if it happens, they're going to pick Canelo up and say draw. This fight has been declared a draw. Yep. That's what they're gonna do, bro.
And if he ever touches the canvas, it was a slip.
Yep.
that nigga slipped.
Automatic slip, bro. Automatic.
Here's my. I got a question kind of connected to that, fellas. We just talked about Sulaiman, the WBC, and their connection with Canelo vis-a-vis Golden Boy. Let's just say another Golden Boy fighter, be it Ryan Garcia or Virgil Ortiz, happens to win a WBC belt. Do you think the organization will go out of their way for those fighters, particularly Garcia, because let's face it, he has the potential to be a cash cow? Do you think they will kind of go out of their way for them in the same way they would Canelo, particularly if it's Garcia ends up becoming a WBC world champion?
If it's Garcia, yes. I don't know about Virgil Ortiz, but if it's Garcia, yes, because Garcia, like you said, he's being breaded to be the heir to the Golden Boy throne of Canelo.
Yep. Absolutely. They've already paid for Garcia's him being the successor. They've already paid for that. You know what I'm saying? Golden Boy's already put the money on the table for that. So
with the new contract, you mean?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And that money gets spread. It's not just Garcia getting paid. You see what I'm saying? So they've already put the money on the table for that. All Garcia got to do is sit back, fight Jorge Linares. You know what I'm saying? That's all. He just chill, dog. We got you from here. That Ryan Garcia is man, dog. Him coming out saying, "Oh, I'm retiring at 26." That's the stupidest shit he could do, because this motherfucker gonna be well off. He'll be 32 years old. The motherfucker be 89 and 0. You know what I'm saying? Unless they put him in there with the same thing they did with Canelo. They put him in there with Floyd in order to boost his image, which is what exactly happened to Canelo. Not only did it boost his image, but it allowed him to become a better fighter, right? They put Ryan Garcia in the ring with the best fighter of that era, whichever era that will be, whoever's the best fighter in that particular era in the future. They might put Ryan in there with him, right? He get his ass whooped, becomes a better fighter, image is boosted. There you go. Same fucking blueprint they had for Canelo will be the same blueprint they do for Ryan Garcia, man.
Agree, 1,000%. My man Eric R said Oscar Canelo and that pocketbook all joined at the hip. Keith Abdul Quali. He said, "Happy Memorial Day, fellas, because I'm in these streets, baby."
My man is in these streets. Respect the OG.
We got Miss Denise Ward. She's like, "Good evening,
Mama
gentlemen."
Denise.
She shout out to you, Mike. She said, "Pound for pound boxing report, all is well."
Mama Denise, what up, man?
They hey, listen, they treat her like she's a superstar. They just treat her like a sporting advantages. Denise, and salute Denise, the first lady of boxing in these streets. Yeah, damn.
Man, listen, the way she clapped back at that dude who was coming at 2K last night. They better respect her.
Yeah. 2K missed her comment when she told old boy, bring that shit to Ohio. I
saw it. I forgot to comment on it, man. Look, we got Mama Denise out here punking niggas, man. Look, Mama, we are a bad influence on you. You out here punking dudes and giving up your address and shit, telling niggas to meet you places.
Oh shit. My man Donnell Kirkland, he said, "This nigga brought up the Constitution." Just kidding. That's what Mike said. Canelo had a better Constitution than that. Hey, Eric R, smash that like button. Don't forget 2K. These boxing fathers don't know shit about boxing too. Ali Jr. Lopez and Angel Garcia.
Oh man, you already know, bro. Yeah, man, them niggas. Shit, Angel Garcia. You got Junior Lopez. Shit, you even got Robert Guerrero's father. Just keep coming forward, eh? Just keep going forward. What are you doing, Russell? No fucking boxing. Even though you won two, two division champion. Even though you were a 2-division champion as a boxer, eh? Just come forward and fight him, dude. Fucking Mexican style, eh? Get the fuck out of here, man. Ever since his father changed the style, Robert Guerrero's been trash.
Yes, he has been. I agree with that.
Ever since.
I agree with that. They shouldn't call that nigga the ghost no more. We see you.
Nah, nigga, we looking right at you, bro. Straight up, nigga. Change your nickname, bro.
Listen, if I say it's fire, trust. Prodigy of Boxing Talk, subscribe. 3 Kings Boxing, check out your YouTube story sources.
My man. Appreciate you, big dog.
What is my man right here said Eric R. Facts at Brian David. They been on their shit. I learn of a new fighter every episode.
Word up, man. That's good to hear, man. That's really to educate. You know, we here to entertain. We say a lot of shit, and that's why I try to say in the beginning of every show, we talk a lot of shit. You know, we might fuck with the trolls here and there, But it's really entertainment, man, at the end of the day. Now, not to say that I won't smack a nigga. I will. I have done it several times. But I'm just saying. It's really entertainment. We try to keep y'all laughing and shit and educate you at the same time, man. So I'm glad to hear that, brother.
My man, Mama Denise said, you're absolutely right at the HNIC. Canelo has it going on. I will not forget that scorecard for that Mayweather fight.
Exactly, Mama Denise. That nigga, my jaw was like on the ground, bro. I'm like, how the fuck is this a draw? And of course, you never saw CJ Ross again. She was done after that. You know what I'm saying? She got her golden boy bag and got the fuck out of boxing.
Oh, man. My man Lawrence Williams said he fought Liam Williams when he didn't have to. He talking about, he fought him for the 154-pound belt that he couldn't fight. He didn't fight Demetrius Andrade for.
Yeah, he was ducking the shit out of Demetrius Andrade. Andrade was a champ. Canelo was the #1 contender. Andrade was chasing Canelo, asking the WBO to mandate the fucking fight. They didn't mandate it, right? But Demetrius was still chasing his number. When the fuck do you ever see the champion chasing the fucking #1 contender? You don't ever see that. You know what I'm saying? You don't ever see that. But in Demetrius Andrade Canelo, you saw it. Then Demetrius Andrade loses the belt, right? Or vacates the belt or gets stripped. I don't fucking remember what happens. But he gets rid of the belt, right? Liam Smith fights John Thompson or some whack nigga for the goddamn vacant belt, right? Then here comes Canelo immediately. Oh shit! Hey, dog, that nigga Liam Smith got the motherfucking belt. We got him next. Immediately fights Liam Smith for the belt. But when Demetrius Andrade was holding it that whole time, didn't want no smoke. Then Canelo gets the belt, and Demetrius Andrade's the #1 contender. The roles are switched. Andrade's calling him out again, and they ignore him. I mean, it's Canelo has officially, bro, I don't care what anybody says, Canelo has ducked Demetrius Andrade across 2 fucking divisions for a very long time, bro. We're talking almost like 9 years. It's crazy, man. Crazy, bro.
Eric R says, I fuck with 130 and up, but because of 2K and Bo, I fucks with Tay, the Monster, and Rigo.
Word up, man.
Well, not Tay after his last fight now. Not after that last fight.
But look, man, Tay-Tay's been knocked out before. Wasn't he knocked out by Marody Mithalane?
Sure he was. Yes, he was.
So he's been knocked out before. He'd come back. You know what I'm saying? Just use that jab in your fucking reach, nigga. Stop sitting in the pocket. You'd be all right.
Mama Denise said 3 Kings boxing is the real deal. I don't read the other sites at all.
Yeah, word up, Mama Denise. Fuck them other sites. They don't know shit.
Nah, they rather spend their time complaining. Floyd Advance said, imagine if the YouTube community knew about these guys. They are reporters first, though. But Mama Denise, she took up for us. YouTube community knows them. Trust me.
You know, to be honest with you, bro, I wouldn't even know. Like I said, like I was telling them dudes that said I was on BFTB's boxing's channel saying some shit about Tyson Fury. Then another dude said I was on Blue Bloods. Like, you know, I'm cool with them dudes, right? You know, we differ. You know, they have their own agenda that they talk about. You know, the LDBC, they talk about what they talk about. They have their own formula that they use, right? We're just on here talking boxing. They are actually on there for political and boxing, and they'll tell you that. You know what I'm saying? It's political and it's boxing. We're just on here about boxing. That's it. We don't put politics in this. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I don't really go to their channels unless I donate because they've donated to me or because I feel like I need to donate because part of the LDBC, not all of them, but parts of the LDBC are affiliated with us. You know what I'm saying? Like 78 Black Fight Fan, right? We're affiliated with them through the contribution of them getting interviews. They'll send us those interviews and we'll publish those articles. That's where they're affiliated us at, right? And then I'm cool with 78. You know, I know him personally. Bo knows him personally. But other than that, you won't see me on anybody's fucking channel commenting, saying this and saying that. I don't fucking do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not in the YouTube boxing community. I'm not in there. Bo's not in there. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak for Mike, but I know me and Bo are not in there like that. We don't go to people's channels. I haven't been to anybody's channel in probably like 5 months, dog. It's been a while. I don't have time to watch channels, man. You see what I'm saying? I don't have time for that shit. 3 Kings Boxing is a 24-hour operation. So we don't be going to nobody's channels and shit. We don't be in there saying no job bullshit, bro. We don't do that. I don't comment. Even if I am watching your show, I might be listening to it. I don't comment. So if y'all see my motherfucking avatar commenting, y'all know it's fake. If it's not a donation, it's more than likely fake. And it even could be a fake one with a donation, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, but nah, man, I don't know the YTBC. I don't know the motherfuckers in the YTBC. So real talk, I don't know if they know us or not. I really don't. Like I said yesterday, our body of work is 3kingsboxing.com. I know who knows that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it is what it is, bro.
My man, Big. That's all I can say, dog. You got to forgive me. I can't say that for no man. The outfit won't let me do that, dog.
No.
What was it? I missed it. Say what?
His name. No, I agree.
Oh yeah.
No, the alpha in me won't allow that, dog. I'm sorry.
Yeah, bro, we can't say that, dog. My bad,
I call you
man.
Big, yeah. No disrespect.
I call you BD.
Yeah, BD, yeah. I don't even like that. The acronym just don't suit me, right? He said he fought money when he was inexperienced and young and in the catchway. That boy since back then wanted to be the best. Respect, dog. He's talking about what you was talking about Canelo having different. Yeah, that's what he's talking about, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, his point advantage said 2K. He said 2K really don't like 2K don't like anyone.
He's not lying. Look, man, Sporting Advantage might know me from somewhere, man, because that's the truth. He's not. I don't, nigga. I really don't. Man, listen, man. I've always been a dude that I go down my own path, man. I don't follow nobody. You know, all of us, we look at things and be like, man, that's a dope way of doing things. I'm gonna try to incorporate that in my everyday life. I do shit like that. Everybody does that, right? But at the end of the day, man, I've always been the type of nigga, hey, man, this is where I'm going. Who's rolling with me? And if you rolling with me, I fuck with you. If you're not rolling with me, I don't fuck with you. Plain and simple. So he's right. If you not rolling with me and rolling with what we do, yeah, I don't like you. I don't know you. I don't like you. Automatically don't like you, nigga. You gotta show me something. You gotta show me something.
Hey, this is true. We go to fights. There's a reason why y'all see me taking pictures with people. This nigga don't do it.
Nope.
I'd be like, yo, you'd be like, yo, Bo, is that Bob? Yeah, that's him. Go take a picture with him, nigga. What? What? Trying to watch the fight like, yo, man, what the fuck? So, my man, Sport Advance said, be careful, no name baiters will come out hating on Andrade.
Hey, man, it is what it is, man. I don't think anybody on this panel would disagree that Canelo ducked Demetrius Andrade. I don't think anybody would disagree with that.
Mm-hmm. And my man, the Texas said, gotta respect that. I'm starting to get into that mindset too, believe it or not. Most channels lose the plot and just ramble.
Yeah. And then what's funny about that, the Texan, like when I used to listen to YouTube channels real heavy from like, and back in 2012, I used to listen to cats all the time. You know what I'm saying? I had my rotation, but I had a rotation of like 12, 15 different channels, man. And it was everybody from all around, right? And then around 2015, I started seeing, you know, dudes really don't know what the fuck they talking about. So that's why I created this channel in 2015. Nobody really, to me, they didn't know what they were talking about. Fast forward to today, it's really bad now. There's, you know, like I said, if you can't intelligently break down a fight, I turn your fucking channel off immediately. Off. You know what I'm saying? You're off. Unsubscribe. Done. Unless you fuck with me. That's the only time I fuck with you. But other than that, if I listen to your channel, I come across your channel, you can't break down a fight, off. It's off. So, and like I said, at the end of the day, we really just don't have the time YouTube surfing and listening to niggas, man. So we just don't have that time.
No, we don't. All right, man. I got one more thing I gotta say. This hurts. So y'all know I really don't like taking up for fighters that I don't like. But I saw a post today in a group where this cat posted, he said Floyd has fought 13 fighters coming off a loss. Reggie Sanders, Jerry Cooper, Bobby Gilbert, Tony Duran, Jesus Chavez, Louis Leja, Angel Nunez, Sam Girard, Miguel Mello, Justin Juco, DeMarcus Corley, Zab Judah, Marcos Maidana. Then he said he also fought 3 fighters with no experience. Now, you know, on a lesser mind, that works, right? Immediately when I heard them names, I'm like, that's got to be early career.
Right.
Immediately when I heard them names, I'm like, well, wait a minute, that's got to be early career. So over here at 3 King Boxing, what do we do again? I'm actually hoping it's kind of true because it's Floyd, right? I don't care. Turns out that guy he had #1, Reggie Sanders, that was Floyd's second fight of his career. Put it like this: the top 5 guys, no, the top out of the first 13 I named, the top 9 dudes were within the first 15 of Floyd Mayweather fights. Okay. I give him Justin Juco because Justin Juco was knocked out in a championship fight for the WBA and fought Floyd for the WBC. So I give you Justin Juco. He had no business fighting him. DeMarcus Corley was a title eliminator. Corley came off a controversial split decision against Zab Judah, and then as a reward, they put him in there with Floyd in a title eliminator. Him and Zab Judah had a contract. He had a contract to fight Zab Judah, but Zab unfortunately lost to who? Carlos Beltran. No, not Beltran. What's that? Vladimir. Baltimore. Okay. And then Marcos Maidana was a fucking rematch. Marcos Maidana was a fucking rematch. And then to say that the 3 guys he fought had no experience, well, the very first guy who was Roberto Apicata, that was him and Floyd was making a debut. So that doesn't count. That's scratch. The next guy was Floyd's second fight. That was Floyd's second. That guy was making a debut. But Conor McGregor, I'll give you that one.
So what was the point? So who said what?
Yeah, I'm trying to get the point.
The point was,
even if you want to put Juco in there, excuse me for interrupting, Bo. Again, context matters. When did that fight occur? On what undercard? That fight was on the undercard of a De La Hoya bout when Aaron basically just put Floyd in there in a showcase opportunity because he was on HBO. And because Juco was a named guy, and Floyd was first, second title defense of the junior lightweight title, it would make sense. It would make sense for him to put him on that, given the context of that bout, when it happened and when it occurred. So, as much as I have my issues with Floyd, particularly outside the ring, I could understand why he fought Juco at that time. So you really cannot knock him for that. So for him to just throw that out there without context, again, who these dudes think they talking to?
My thing is, Bo, did you say what it was about?
No, he just put it up there as if to go at Floyd, to anybody who likes Floyd, to say, yeah, the guy that y'all like, he ain't shit. Look at this shit right here. Look at what he did.
So he's saying he fought. So the context of the post was Floyd.
He fought 13 guys coming off losses.
All right, that's what
and
I was
3 of those
to
guys had no in-ring experience.
That's what I was waiting to hear. All right, so yeah, now that you put it that way, yeah, it makes absolutely no fucking sense because I think you said 6 or 7 of those guys on that list were when Floyd had fought under 10 fights. Nigga, 99% of boxers fight niggas with no experience on debuts, coming off losses and shit in their first 15 fights. You know what I'm saying? Like Vasyl Lomachenko was like that anomaly, right? And Alexander Usyk,
Rigo, and all
like that. Rigo, yeah, these are the anomalies, man. You know what I'm saying? But the majority of fighters in their prospect stages are gonna fight a bunch of niggas that one guy I always remember and never forget. Go look at Kell Brook. Look at the niggas he fought in his first 20 fights, dog. I mean, he was literally fighting niggas that was 6-82, and he actually fought a nigga that was 6-82 3 times.
Sure did.
So the UK fighters definitely know about that shit, bro. They do that shit like crazy. Fight a bunch of whack ass niggas in their first 15 to 20 fights, man. So at the end of the day, that is the blueprint of grooming a prospect at which you believe is going to be a world champion one day. You get him in there with a bunch of nobodies and shit, then he steps up his competition as he gets more mature. The fuck is he talking about? You know what I'm saying? Look, dudes just be reaching because they don't like Floyd Mayweather, man. That's all that is, bro. They got to find something. And this goes into that shit that I said before. There was never that gratification of seeing Floyd Mayweather lose in the ring, man. They wouldn't have done this to Muhammad Ali if Muhammad Ali was in this era because he lost 5 fucking times.
That's very true.
What I'm saying? But Floyd Mayweather never lost. They never got that gratification, dog. So they go back and try to find something that they can latch on to so they can be satisfied and say, okay, this is why this nigga's losing. You know, this is why he's a bitch. This is why he's a hoe, because X, Y, and Z. And it ends up being the dumbest fucking arguments that anybody could ever think of, because once again, what do I say about boxing fans, bro? They are fucking dumb. Plain and simple, man.
Man, listen, all I know is this, man. There's lots of fighters that I don't like, but when you say something incorrect, I'm sorry. You can't give me a guy the first 15 fights of a guy's resume when he has 50 fights or 60 fights or however many. Like you said, when fighters are first starting, that's what they put him in the ring with. That's what they put him in the ring with. Now the reason why you have the anomalies in the Usyks and the Regan Diaz and the Vasily Lomachenkos is because they spend the majority of their 20s fighting in the amateurs, gathering up 300 amateur fights, and I think both both Usyk and I believe Vasily Lomachenko participated in that WBS, not WBSS, some type of WBS, right? So they both participated in that. So you'll get that anomaly. Go ahead.
It's WSB, World Series of Boxing.
That's it. WSB. Right. That's it. Thank you very much. So you'll get that right there. But everybody else, well, that's what they do. You ain't gonna be no meat on the bone in the first 10 fights. Everybody, that's what they do. First 10 fights. And like my man Mike said, context is key. So man, I don't get it. I saw it and meet. I just like, man, I gotta bring this up. And it's crazy because y'all make us say something like that. My man Scott Brown said Corrales is Floyd's best win.
What do you think about that? Do y'all think, Mike, do you think Diego Corrales was Floyd Mayweather's best win in his career?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Who do you have?
Pacquiao.
Okay.
In spite of how old Pacquiao was a better win.
Okay.
First and foremost, Pacquiao's a better win. Corrales, quote unquote, prime was not that long. Once he lost Floyd, he was too inconsistent in his career. He had some great performances, but he didn't sustain a certain level. Well, Pacquiao, he might have lost here and he got knocked out against Marquez, but he has sustained a certain level over a long period of time. Pacquiao, that win, I don't care if they both were old, that win far exceeds the Diego Corrales wins. It's not even close.
What do you think about that, Bo?
It's not Diego Corrales for me. His biggest win, in my eyes, and I know Mike said Pacquiao. I lean more towards Ricky Hatton.
Okay.
I definitely lean toward that. Ricky Hatton was undefeated. He was in his prime, and he was a guy that a lot of people felt, I'm not going to say believe, but people felt could give Floyd problems because he was a pressure fighter.
No, say what you want to say, because I remember arguing with motherfuckers at Buffalo Wild Wings, bro. I argued with a table full of people. They were saying Ricky Hatton was going to knock him out.
Okay. So a lot of motherfuckers did feel Ricky Hatton. All right. So yeah, a lot of motherfuckers had Ricky Hatton knocking Floyd out. They said his style, he was exceptionally aggressive. He was very busy, and that by him being an aggressive and busy fighter in your chest fighter, that could disrupt Floyd and his defense because Floyd's because of the way Floyd liked to lean up against the ropes, and which is where Ricky Hatton wants you to be. That was his wheelhouse, especially after what he did to Costa Tzu. So
Pacquiao's the win over. Oh, excuse me. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying. So for me, it's Ricky Hatton because he was undefeated. He was in his prime, and he knocked him the fuck out, making a statement.
The win over Pacquiao, win over Pacquiao is greater than the win over Corrales. The win over De La Hoya was greater than the win over Corrales. Because whatever you want to say about De La Hoya, particularly how he can act outside the ring and questionable quote unquote behavior, that's for another podcast, for another show. You cannot knock what he's done. From 35 to 47, particularly at 47, even to 54, De La Hoya, you know, he fought just about everybody, and his accomplishments in his career in the ring, it can't be denied. And De La Hoya that night was still pretty good. And yeah, I know Corrales was a beast at 130 pounds, but we all know Corrales had his issues. But we all saw how limited he was. De La Hoya was not that limited. He could do a little bit of everything. With Corrales, he really couldn't box. He really couldn't move. He was a good puncher, and he threw good combinations. As a fighter, to me, De La Hoya was better than Corrales.
I disagree with both you niggas, and I actually agree with Scott the Troll Brown, bro. Diego Corrales was Floyd's best win. Why? Because Floyd Mayweather didn't even get no credit for beating Genaro Hernandez at that time. Genaro Hernandez was a long reigning, I believe, WBA champion at the time, right? Floyd, people were saying Floyd was green. Floyd whooped Genaro Hernandez's ass. Then they said, well, you know, Genaro Hernandez is on his way out. You know, he's on his way out. That's what they did.
I remember that. They said Floyd shouldn't take that fight. You're right.
Right. And then when he beat the shit out of him, then it changed to, well, he's on his way out anyway. You know, Floyd beat a guy that was a little bit too old, right? Here's the deal. Diego Corrales was a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter, bro. I don't know if y'all knew that. Diego Corrales was ranked number 3 on the pound-for-pound list at that time. Diego Corrales was much taller, much bigger. Floyd Mayweather was an underdog in Las Vegas for that fight. I don't think you guys knew that either. When was the last time Floyd was an underdog in Las Vegas? It might have been Diego Corrales. Every fight after that, Floyd was the favorite. He was the underdog in Las Vegas, right? The fight was at 130 or 135. I think it was at 135. And Diego Corrales rehydrated 15 pounds. So Diego Corrales came into the fight a goddamn welterweight / junior middleweight. Floyd only rehydrated 1 pound. So you're fighting a guy who's top 5 pound for pound. Everyone thinks he's going to beat you. He's much bigger, much stronger, right? Before the rehydration. Now he's like a motherfucking Super Saiyan in the ring against you. And he never even touched Floyd. He beat the shit out of Diego Corrales and had people thinking, why the fuck did we sleep on Floyd Mayweather for so long? I'm going to tell y'all something. And I've said this before. My dad asked me before the Diego Corrales fight. He said, hey, man, who's a better fighter, Shane Mosley or Floyd Mayweather? I said, Shane Mosley, man. Shane Mosley, nigga, 31-0 with motherfucking 30 knockouts, nigga. He's fucking everybody up.
I remember that.
Right? Shane Mosley, dog. Right? So after he did what he did to Diego Corrales, man, I went back and told my dad, I said, Floyd Mayweather will never lose a fight in his career. That's facts. No fake news. Now, I didn't know how right I was going to be, but that's what I said. Diego Corrales was Floyd Mayweather's coming out party. Diego Corrales told everybody that Floyd Mayweather is going to be a serious problem for as long as he fucking lasts. It wasn't Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya was actually on the end of his fucking career. He fought one more fight after that, then fought Manny Pacquiao and retired. That's what happened when Floyd beat him. Oscar De La Hoya had already been knocked out by body shot by fucking Bernard Hopkins when Floyd fought him. You know what I'm saying? He was on the tail end of his career, right? Manny Pacquiao, again, I do agree with what Mike is saying in terms of what Manny Pacquiao ended up being and who he is and why that win is the best one, because of the type of caliber fighter he ended up beating. It's an 8-division champion. He's one of the greatest of all time, one of the greatest of this era. And basically Floyd created separation between the two. When there was doubt which one is better, Floyd created that separation. So I understand what Mike is saying. But again, at that point in time, right, that didn't boost Floyd any. Floyd was already cemented. His legacy was already cemented. People were saying Floyd was the greatest pound-for-pound fighter of all time before he fought Manny Pacquiao. You see? His legacy was already cemented. When Floyd beat Oscar De La Hoya, that made him the money man. That didn't cement his legacy. It just made him the money man. But when Floyd beat Diego Corrales, that's when people woke up and said, this motherfucker right here is going to give anybody he faces problems. That Diego Corrales win was the biggest turnaround for Floyd Mayweather's career. That's why it's the best win.
All right. Good. Finally, Scott Brown asked a question that got some good thought back. Finally, he asked a good question that got us some good thought back. All right, man. As always, go to 3kingsboxing.com for the latest grades, what's going on in the sport of boxing. Mike, tell everybody where they can find you at, man.
If you want to talk boxing, music, fitness, you know what it is. On Twitter, Brother JR at Brother JR76. As I said before, I am a senior writer for Three Kings Boxing. Dropped an article about Billy Joe Saunders earlier today. Please take time to check that out. There you go. And Pound for Pound Box Report, my side project. You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, RSS feed, p4pboxreport.wordpress.com for all info.
All right, man. Definitely appreciate you taking time out to join us today, man. We went a little long, but y'all know how we work around here, man. Y'all come with the questions. We don't duck them. We don't avoid them. And as you guys can clearly see, we don't always agree, but because we alphas and not betas, ain't nobody like, you don't know what the fuck you talking about, nigga. Shut up. All of us gave you a breakdown and a very good reason where you can at least, at the very least, understand why we feel the way we feel. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, man. 3kingsboxing.com. Ladies and greats, we're going on in the sport of boxing. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate y'all being here. HNIC, take us out.
Y'all know what to do, man. Go to Twitter at 3kingsboxing, Instagram at 3kingsboxing, Facebook.com/3kingsboxing. And of course, right here, the prodigy of boxing talk. Every single day we bringing something to y'all, man. 7 to 7:30 Eastern time, 6 to 6:30 Central, 4 to 4:30 Pacific. And most importantly, go to 3kingsboxing.com, your source for pure, unadulterated boxing information, man. Some of the best minds out here putting that content out there. Y'all know what to do. Check us out. Come back to the podcast. But until tomorrow, we out this bitch.